Today, we're diving into something really important. What happens after things go wrong at work? After the slip, the fall, or even the close call. Workplace accident investigation, it's not about pointing fingers. It's really about turning a bad situation into a powerful lesson for a safer future. So let's get right into it. So let me ask you this. You've got a simple paper cut on one hand and a serious chemical spill on the other. What's the most important thing to do next? You might think those are two totally different worlds, but the truth is that first crucial step in an investigation, it's the same no matter how big or small the incident is. So what actually kicks off an investigation? The key thing to remember here is that any incident, and I mean any, no matter how minor it seems, is a huge learning opportunity to make things safer for everyone. Now, the word incident is probably way broader than you think. Of course, it covers the obvious stuff, from minor scrapes to major accidents, but it also includes these sneaky long-term issues, and, maybe most importantly, the ones that almost happened. Those near misses, man, those are pure gold. They're basically free lessons on what to fix before somebody actually gets hurt. And when an incident does happen, there is absolutely no time to waste. You've got to start that investigation immediately. Seriously, the clock is ticking. And this isn't just a friendly suggestion, it's absolutely essential for the entire process to even work. So why the big rush? Well, it boils down to three critical reasons. First, you have to lock down the scene so nobody messes with it. Second, physical evidence. It can get moved, it can get cleaned up, it can degrade. And third, and this is a big one, people's memories are sharpest right after something happens. You wait a day, you wait even a few hours, and you start losing those crucial little details. Okay, so why do we even go through all this trouble? What's really at stake when we talk about doing a proper investigation? Look, this is so much more than just filling out some forms. The number one goal is making sure that exact same thing never happens again, period. But a good investigation does more. It uncovers other hidden dangers, it makes sure you're following the law, and honestly, it saves a ton of money in the long run. It's just smart. This really brings us to the heart of it all. The mission. Getting this part right, understanding the true goal of an investigation, is what separates a process that actually works from one that just causes more problems. This right here is the most important mindset shift you can make. The goal is not to find someone to blame. It's to find the root cause. It's not about finding a way to let people off the hook. It's about finding unsafe conditions and actions. A great investigation is all about preventing the next incident, not just checking a box for the insurance company. Okay, so once you've got the right mission in your head, the next step is getting the right people in the room. Who should actually be on this investigation team to make sure it's done right? The results you get are only ever going to be as good as the team you put together. It's all about having the right people who know how to ask the right questions to really get to the bottom of things. So what does a great investigator look like? Well, they need to know their stuff, investigative techniques, how the work actually gets done. But the single most important quality, they have to be impartial. Any kind of bias can completely derail the whole process before it even starts. The team itself can be a mix of people. You've got your internal folks, like a supervisor or a safety officer. But for the more serious stuff, you're going to see external agencies get involved, like DOSH, that's the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, or maybe even the police. And speaking of those external agencies, getting them involved isn't always a choice. Let's talk about the law and when you are absolutely required to pick up the phone and notify the authorities. In Malaysia, the big rulebook for this is a regulation called NADUPAD 2004. And yeah, that is a mouthful. It stands for the Occupational Safety and Health Notification of Accident, Dangerous Occurrence, Occupational Poisoning, and Occupational Disease Regulations. Phew. Basically, it's the law that tells you when you have to report an incident. And the law is crystal clear on this. It says every employer shall inform DOSH, the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, immediately when certain things happen. There's no gray area there. So what are these automatic triggers for reporting? We're talking about the big stuff. An accident that causes a serious injury or, God forbid, a death. A major structural collapse. A big leak of some hazardous material. These are the kinds of events where you have to make that call right away. All right, so after going through the what, the why, the who, and the how, it's really important we circle back to the ultimate goal. Everything we've talked about is built on one single foundational idea. And here it is. The goal is never ever about finding who's at fault. It is always about finding the underlying causes, the broken systems, the gaps in procedure, the unsafe conditions, so you can fix them for good. So, the big thing to take away from all this is simple. The goal is to find what to fix, not who to blame. And that leaves one last question for you to think about. Is your workplace asking the right questions when something goes wrong?